Yes. I'm sorry. I'm looking over here. You're going to understand in just a moment. I'm looking over here saying some of our reporting this morning the real factor. All right, so I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. How are you today, America? How are you, Diane? So let me come right out of the box with this. If you are on the live chat over on Rumble, I appreciate it. Diane sends me the live chat. I cannot monitor it as the show's going on. We do what we can to look at it, but I do review it after every program. I look at it, and they, pronoun, right? Someone sent someone into the live chat to write little attack sentences as it's going on. So make sure if you're out there and you're one of our Patriot viewers, go in there and welcome them and kill them with kindness. All right. Don't kill them. Kill them with kindness. So thank you for all the comments in the live chat. So I'm your host, BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it talks, it could be a duck because it's AI, is probably a duck. Whew. Yes, we are. We're still, yes, I know. Video 18. I know.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Yes, I know. Are you still talking about Epstein? Just saying. We will get into that in a moment. So, a couple things here. You know, I monitor morning news on different channels. The Mockingbird media, the deep state, corporate corrupt media, they drop the news narrative at 4 a.m. I start looking every morning at 4 a.m. to see what news narrative they're going to run on all the networks, on all the water carrying podcasts. Here's what I want to be very clear on. Don't watch the program. I support President Donald Trump, and I have my 45-47 pin. I have my Trump hat. Okay. I have my Trump watch. I do this every day because if you don't watch the entire program, people do take cuts, and I've already had people take cuts and, oh my God, BKP's attacking Trump. That's not what I do. But if you cannot have the conversation where President Trump is concerned, if you can't look at some things from some different angles, this is not the place for you. It's really not. Because what we have to really come out of the box with is you and I both know, we all both, all of us, all 18 viewers, that's what they claim we have, but all of us know the depth of the deep end. Water where you can see just so far and then it's dark, very dark. When we say deep state, the deep end of the pool, you cannot see to the bottom of this pool. So you and I know how deep, how dangerous, corrupt, all the above, bad these people are. And Donald Trump is attempting to take on the deep state. Rupert Murdoch, Wall Street Journal, sue me. I don't care. I am going to take Trump down. Rupert Murdoch, okay? But that being said, there's some things happening out there in the deep state that's trying to do everything they can to bring this administration down. I mean, Marco Rubio's name is coming up every day now. Pete Hegseth's name is coming up again with the Signal Gate, and they're claiming that there's an uprising over at the Pentagon, and they will release a letter next week, is the claim, saying that he is, not up to the task of the Department of Defense Secretary. They're doing it every day. Tulsi Gabbard, going after her now. One thing leads to another. Pam Bondi, I don't think I would have ever brought Pam Bondi into my administration, but that's a conversation for a different time. But that being said, we have the full conversation. CNN, they're determined to take this administration down, and they need to do it. They're trying to create issues for the midterm, and then after the midterm, we'll be going into 2028. What will happen then? So we'll talk about that in a minute. But so, you have those, so Atlanta news. So at 4:30 in the morning, I turn on Atlanta news. I want to hear a little bit of what's happening on the streets in Atlanta, and I turn that on at 4:30 a.m. So I have CBS at 4 a.m., Atlanta news at 4:30 a.m., MSNBC, CNN at 5 a.m. So they're talking about this neighbor being shot, this neighbor kid being shot in the streets of Atlanta. And what are they doing? They're going to the neighborhood and talking to the neighbors about the shooting and this kid getting killed in Atlanta. And I look over and this is what I see. Diane, I want 136. I look over and this is what I see on the screen. I've just always wanted to be right there when that neighbor was interviewed. I looked over and I said, just saying. That's what I caught at 4:36 a.m. Take that off the screen. Can't make that up. All right. I just had to show you that. Now, 139. Should look like a man. So, what do you say to this? Yes, we're going to get into everything. You're like, well, wait a minute. When are you going to show us something else here? You're going to start with this. I just have to. All right. I just have to. Give me number 106. We'll talk about this in a moment. So the Macrons are suing Candace Owens for defamation. 105. Because Candace Owens will not shut up. And then give me 107. Candace Owens will not shut up saying that Bridget Macron is a man. So the Macrons are suing Candace Owens because Candace Owens. Now, there's two ladies that in France that were they were in big trouble with defamation, claiming Bridget Macron is a man, and they were vindicated. They were not vindicated as far as that, but they dropped the lawsuits, right? Or they lost the suit against the two ladies in defamation. Now, the Macrons are suing Candace Owens because she's really ratcheted up that Bridget Macron is a man. So take that down, all right? So we're going to get into this as soon as we're going to come back, and we're going to stay focused. And what I mean by that is I want to do a full segment on, give me 113. So I was wondering, and I have gone on, all right, and the Doonaster, I'll tell you who the Doonaster is later, but, you know, I went on a Scott Pressler tweet, and the Doonaster said, "Oh my God, BKP is attacking an American hero, Scott Pressler," just to go after me. But that wasn't the case. I have gone on DC Drano. All right. I have gone on Pressler when they tweeted out. I have asked them multiple times, why did you play a role in the Epstein binder, hoax in front of the White House? Why did you play a role? Because I have said on the show, I have the tape, these people came out. Why did you? I mean, why were you used to set up a nothing burger, as they say, with this binder that says Epstein, phase 1 or whatever, part 1 of the file? And I have retweeted these people several times. And give me hold on just a minute. I have it here. Give me number 46. So what this article says is what this article says. Pam Bondi suffers sudden medical emergency, right? This was yesterday, right? After report claiming AG told Trump he was on the Epstein files sparked fury. So there's one here I want, and I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it here in just a second. So the article reads that Shinovic, is that his name? I forget his name, all right? But the article reads, number 83, that these people were invited to the White House. They were invited to the White House thinking they were going to get a meeting with top-level people in the cabinet, chief of staff. They were not assured they would meet with Trump. But in February 2025, Attorney General Pam Bondi invited a group of right-wing influencers to the White House and provided them with binders labeled the Epstein File Phase 1. These binders were supposed to contain newly classified information. So here's a name of a couple people that were invited, all right? However, the influencers later reported the binders contained mostly information that had already been public. So these people here's the story. Go look it up for yourself. They get invited to the White House. And they don't know exactly why they are there, other than the new administration's taken over. They're going to be open to this side. We now have in the White House press room, we have that new chair for alternative media, as they call it. So they're invited there. They don't know that Pam Bondi is going to be there. This is what's in the story, and exactly what's going to happen. So there were like 15 invited. So they go in, they're going to meet with Susie Wiles, they're going to meet with some cabinet members. There's going to be people brief them, talk to them about the direction of the administration. And in walks Pam Bondi, right? In walks Pam Bondi, because I've asked this question for a long time. Why did you people come out? Why did you come out? Because Pam Bondi had just said, right, the night before on Fox or something, that Epstein information was forthcoming. So she's on Fox. God knows Pam Bondi's on Fox. And she's saying Epstein information is forthcoming. Now, there's something wrong here. Bad wrong. And I have to tell you, Trump plays cards, chess better than most people. He knows when he has cards. He knows how to play them. He knows how to deal with the media. Don't forget this. He knows how to run a narrative when he needs it. So you got to start thinking, what the hell happened here? This is the best laid plan you have. Now, is this where they thought we could get these people to believe anything? Now, why do you think MAGA is fractured right now? Forget the polling at how many Trump Republicans support Trump, still support Trump. Yes, I still support Trump. It was a mess. It is a mess. It's a disaster. But on this right here, this is the best you could do rolling this out, because I'm getting out of the box. I do not stay in the lane. I do not stay in the lane that is so narrow I can't see what I call the 30-second, the 1 minute TikTokers. Now, I will tell you something. They have to control the narrative, and I'm not changing the subject. Remember, Congress passed this law, and it was signed by the Otto Pen, whoever he was, to get rid of TikTok and to sell it. In transparency, TikTok is on this damn phone over here. I've never been shy of telling you that, okay? China's got all my stuff. They got it all. They know all my bank accounts. I just wish they would make a deposit. Anyhow, I don't shy away from it. TikTok's on my phone. But remember, we have a law, but it keeps getting pushed out and pushed out. Let me tell you something. All of your news networks, they're on TikTok now. And what are they doing? They're throwing those 1 minute shots because it works. It works. I've told you over and over. I focus on what I call the 1 minute news cycle. And that's what people are doing. That's what they're doing. The narrow lane, 5%. I'm not here to make anybody mad. I'm here to tell you the truth. The narrow lane keeps up with everything. But the people hustling, bustling in the cars this morning trying to get to the office or wherever they work, they're getting those 1-minute shots. So anyhow, Pam Bondi's on Fox News, 1-minute shot. Tomorrow, I will be releasing, you will see some information concerning Epstein that's long overdue, forthcoming. Next, that's what they're doing. So anyhow, Pam Bondi's out there on Fox. She's telling everybody, we have forthcoming information. Now, read this for yourself. So these people are coming out and saying, there's some that's come out and said in an article, that's not what I was told I was going to the White House for. It's great. So we go to the White House. They bring them in. They don't tell them. And here's what I understand. Pam Bondi appears in the room with these white binders, 15, and starts handing them out. Now, they don't know exactly who all they're going to get to meet with in the White House that day. All right. They don't know how long they'll be in there. They're excited. It's 15 of them. You got DC Drano, Jack Posobiec, Scott Pressler. I tell you who's not there. You know who's not there? Steve Bannon's not there. Steve Bannon's not there that day. He's not there. But anyhow, so going on, all of a sudden, Pam Bondi comes in and she hands out 15 binders because she's been over at Fox News saying it's forthcoming. And they have 15 binders. And what do? They get done. They don't know. Now, Pam Bondi basically tells them, you have the binders here. I had it here just a minute ago. That last one, I kindly showed them in the picture. Right there. So when they get these binders and they're in the room, because I've been very critical. These people, they're talking, some of them, and they've been used. So they don't know what's in that binder. They're led to believe you are the first 15. We don't trust CNN. We don't trust Fox. We don't trust MSNBC. We don't trust anyone else out there. You have been chosen as the 15 people that are going to go out with this binder and be able to say, I have part 1 of the Epstein file. So, hey, if I'm in the room and you're Pam Bondi and you're the Attorney General of the United States and you hand me that binder, now, obviously, I don't have time to go through it. I don't have time to flip through it. And you're the Attorney General and you say, look what you have. We told you it was forthcoming. You know, we're going to release this. I'm like, holy, how fast can I get out of here and tell people, look what I have? So they come out of the White House, and obviously you always want that circular driveway photog there, and they come out, and it's all set up. And, hey, did you guys get binders? Yes. We got our what were those binders in high school? Those 3-ring notebooks, right? Trapper folders. Yes, we got our Trapper folders, right? Here's our binders. And they say Epstein on the front. Here they are, baby. I got them. At this time, they don't know what's in there. This is what the reporting is. Some of them, this is why some of them are upset. They were used. Then they go out and they start looking, right? They start looking through the binder and they're like, I don't have anything. There's nothing in here. Right? Nothing in here. We've been duped. That's what the president said. We've been duped. So why would Pam Bondi, is it unbeknownst to President Donald Trump, why would they invite these 15 people? Why would they hand out the binders? Why would they go out and take pictures, right? Why would they even let this narrative go? Did they expect? Now, I don't know about President Trump because he was not in this meeting when the binders were handed out. He was not at the meeting the binders were handed out. Did President Trump or Pam Bondi think these people are going to go out and carry the water so when we tell them everything is out, they'll help us? I don't know. But later on, they did. Now, they did report. Can you go back to the other one we just had? Because you will see, however, the influencers later reported that the binders contained mostly information. It was already public. So basically, they started reporting we didn't get anything. That's when people started saying, well, when are we going to get phase 2? Well, it's on my desk. I have to go through it. So it's not a matter, I'm still talking about Epstein. And yes, I do know Tulsi Gabbard held a press conference yesterday. We have that queued up. We have it in the queue or whatever we do here. We have that. And so let's just say this, 124, because we're going to take a break. We have the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour. There's a such thing as truth in broadcasting. Yes, there's a such thing as truth in broadcasting. Yeah, there's a such thing. The Georgia Hour at 10 o'clock. Speaker Johnson questions if Ghislaine Maxwell can be counted on to tell the truth. We're going to release the list. We need to release the list. We need to get the list out. But keep in mind, there's a lot of stuff on the list that's not credible. So we got to go through the list and we got to get the people out of it that it's false on the list. We can't call everyone on the list a bad person. Now we can get here's the thing. Now I will tell you, this is where I'm a little upset. If it's a duck, it's a damn duck. And you cannot send us to the well, all right? You cannot send us to the well trying to get us to believe something. I will tell you this. Anytime, it doesn't matter who it is in the world, you're trying to get me to believe something, I'm like, 131. This is what I don't understand with the whole rollout. I don't understand it. Judge denies DOJ's request to unseal Epstein grand jury transcripts in Florida. We know that. You knew that. We all knew the judge was going to deny it. You don't release an unsealed grand jury transcript. They are sealed for a reason. When you're in a grand jury, you get to ask any question you want. You get to have a discussion in the grand jury amongst yourselves. You get to ask the prosecutor anything you want because you're only there to help determine if it's a viable case, a real case, and it should find itself in a courtroom. That's all you're there for, not guilt or innocence. So it's sealed. So if the homemaker God forbid we say homemaker. I think of homemaker because every time Krista Frost in the $140 million Ponzi scheme in Georgia, holy smokes, made a donation, it was listed homemaker. So if you're a homemaker down there in Florida and you're on the grand jury and you want to ask questions, people don't know what you said. That being said, it's sealed. You can only unseal a grand jury testimony if it applies to another case and could lead to finding someone guilty in another case that you're prosecuting. So we knew this. We knew all along. And every time Mike Johnson came out and said, well, we're doing what we can, we're asking the grand jury testimony to be released. We want that released. Oh, it's a judge. A judge said we can't. We knew this all along. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We are going to talk about the treason. We are going to talk about that. I do believe these people need to go to prison. We've got a lot coming up on the Georgia Hour. Can Maxwell be trusted? Let me see if there's anything out here. Now, we'll stay with that for now. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCar Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on Voice of Rural America. Good morning, Diane. How are you? Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, some of you. So, Tulsi Gabbard comes out, does a press conference yesterday, lays out all the documentation, basically says it out loud for the world to hear it. Barack Hussein Obama committed treason, and some people have been referred to the DOJ. Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. How many of you, before she came out with that press conference, how many of us, right, that pay attention, how many of us have known for God knows how long that Obama guilty of treason? Brennan, Clapper, right? Jake Sullivan, Susan Rice, Valerie Jarrett. How many of you have known that? I mean, I get it. We're going to play some of that because some of you are kind of upset that I'm putting the cart before the horse. Yes, they're guilty. Is Obama going to prison? No. I'm gonna take a black marker in Vegas that Obama will never see prison. Was Hillary Clinton on tranquilizers? Yes, because of her health. We get that. But let me tell you something. Why they rolled out the Epstein, and it does look like, oh, I'm going to hear the screeching now. It does look like, it appears, if you're outside looking in, that you're trying to change the subject. It does look that way, all right? Just saying. Looks like a duck that we're trying to change the subject right now. But it's not going away. And it's not going away for a couple of reasons, the way it was handled through the White House. Now, on day one, there's no back and forth, no yes and no. President of the United States says on day one, look, I'm not leaning towards releasing this. There's a lot of things that are not validated. We can't trust the people. They've been in the hands of the Democrats for 4 years. They've been in the hands. Comey's had his hands on them. Christopher Wray's had his hands on them. Merrick Garland, Brennan, Clapper. These people have had their hands on all of this information throughout the years. I just got to look at you and say, I would love to do it. Can't do it. Yes, I at one time attended multiple things where Jeffrey Epstein's concerned. So I will be listed in this file, but I didn't do anything. The guy's a disgusting pedophile, parading young girls in front of very powerful people. I get it, but it didn't happen that way. And it should have. Because I'll look you right in the eye and tell you, if my president of the United States would have just come out and said everything in some way like that from the very beginning, I could have gone with that. Yes, Merrick Garland's had it for 4 years, and Clapper's had it, and Brennan's had it. They're all corrupt as hell. And there's some people on there, but the files have been altered. The lady in jail, we can't trust the lady in jail. I mean, hell, it's a jailhouse confession. We all know that. When you bring someone into court that's testifying to try to lower their sentence or change their sentence in any way whatsoever, a jailhouse snitch, the jury only gives them so much credibility, and the defense always tries to knock down their testimony as, the credibility of their testimony based on they're trying to make a deal. Were you offered a deal? No. You sure? No. All of that being said, if you'd have just done that, but you started out, you told us you would release them, she brings the people, pulls a stunt, right? So here we go. I want to say this. Back when they used to invite me, they don't anymore. And I'm not picking on any certain GOP, but I used to get invited to speak all the time. And one time I was asked to speak right before the 2022, right before the 2022. Is that when it was? But yeah, I was asked to speak at the Fannin County GOP meeting. And I had a packed house. I had about 50 people there. Give me number 14. And in that, I'll never forget. I've got the tape. It's in there. In that, I'll never forget. And I told people that night, I said, one of the greatest fears I have in my country today is what happened here. That we know that laptop, right? We know the laptop is real. And these 51 spies going from Brennan to Clapper, and these 51 spies signed on, former FBI, CIA, to say that Hunter Biden's laptop is Russian propaganda. I said that night. I'll never forget it. So anyhow, we have Twitter, right? Something's making these people mad. So we have Twitter is owned by, I forget who. Twitter kicks all of us off, kicked Donald Trump off, right? Donald Trump was kicked off. You know the one, Laura Loomer was kicked off. How many people were kicked off Twitter, right? Facebook kicked us all off. YouTube took my channel, kicked us off. The social media that shut us down. And they pulled a cover up. They tried to steal 2016. And they were caught off guard. Obama and Hillary were caught off guard. They did everything they could, Russia, the hoax, to steal 2016. They accomplished the steal in 2020 because they were ready this time. COVID comes in. opportune time, they steal 2020. All right. But in 2024, Donald Trump wins with some errors. And maybe that one error was a guy by the name of Elon Musk. Maybe that's somewhere Donald should not have gone. I don't know. We can look at that at a later date, but he did. Now, let's go with this first, because there's some people angry and there's some things coming out. So remember, Elon Musk he purchases Twitter. He purchases Twitter, and what's the first thing he does? He brings this guy in, right? Now, I'm going to tie all this together. If you'll stay with me, I'm going to tie it all together. Because don't forget, Elon Musk does not buy Twitter. You don't get reinstated. Laura Loomer has no platform. Period. Right? Jack Posobiec has no platform. This guy doesn't buy Twitter. Nick Fuentes doesn't have a platform. Alex Jones got invited back, doesn't have a platform. Tucker Carlson, I could go on and on. I personally wouldn't have a platform. Right? And I think, Diane, are we running live on X this morning? Diane takes care of all of that. They don't tell me half the stuff going on around here. They keep me in the dark.
Yeah, we're live on X.
I was just sorry, Diane. I wasn't trying to get in trouble. Just time. All right. We wouldn't have a platform. We're live on X, and we wouldn't have a platform. So I say that. Don't forget who bought X and who's running on it today. Give me video 5.
Yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from New York, Ms. Stefanik, for 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It has been almost 1 year since the first bombshell Twitter files. Looking back now, and my questions are for Mr. Taibbi and Mr. Schellenberger, what was the most alarming thing that you came across during your review of internal Twitter documents? And I have a number of follow-up questions, so keep it short.
Sure. Thank you for the question. I think the most alarming thing that we saw was the regular stream, organized stream of communication between the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the largest tech companies in the country. They had an organized system for flagging content, not occasionally, but in enormous numbers, involving spreadsheets of accounts that ran to the hundreds and thousands. And this was shocking to us, and to the Congressman's point, this isn't crazy conspiracy theory. We've already had 4 federal judges rule that they believe this activity violates the First Amendment. This is quite serious. We didn't know whether it was against the law, but we certainly thought it was shocking enough to be in the public interest, and that for me was the most serious thing.
Yeah, for me, it was seeing the so-called former FBI officials within Twitter and working with and other groups, including this Aspen Institute, participating in an effort to so-called pre-bunk the Hunter Biden laptop before it was ever published in the New York Post, and then to get it censored by Twitter in violation of Twitter's own terms of service, whose internal staff had concluded that the New York Post tweet had not violated their terms of service, and they censored it anyway.
Mr. Schellenberg, I want to ask you further that revolving door between the FBI and Twitter, and I also want to ask about those third-party, essentially government proxies. You referenced the Aspen Institute. Can you delve deeper into both of those questions, both of those topics?
Sure. It was the former general counsel of the FBI, Jim Baker, and the former deputy director of the FBI had both taken jobs at Twitter. There were so many FBI people at Twitter that they had their own internal group and their own little crib sheet to describe the difference between the terms that they use at the FBI versus at Twitter.
CIA had it as well.
Yeah, CIA as well had their own little internal group. And I'm sorry, what was the second question?
The third-party proxies.
Oh,
like
yeah. Well, then the
Aspen
Aspen, this was the weirdest thing. We discovered that Aspen Institute had created a workshop that it was attended by basically all of the major media, including as well as all the major social media platforms, to basically pre-bunk in advance.
Pre-bunk in advance. Pre-bunk in advance. I wanted to go on. Can you go on? Maybe I should. Maybe I should just another 30 seconds.
The Hunter Biden laptop, even though it had not been, there was no evidence that it existed outside of the fact that the FBI knew that they had it because they got it in December 2019. So to have the Aspen Institute trying to persuade people not to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story in August and September of 2020 was quite chilling and disturbing to see.
These content moderators at social media platforms.
Okay, so yesterday Tulsi Gabbard comes out, and I'm with you 100%. And the timing for me is like, okay, and I'm like, folks, we could be arresting people today. Yes, I mean, you're over at the FBI, Kash Patel. We have this evidence. Now, Elon Musk does not buy. Remember who has shown you this every single day. I mean, I have shown you this every day on the show, and I have studied this for years. Give me number 22, right? And I just showed you this, and Matt Taibbi. Now, Elon Musk buys Twitter, turns it into X, loses money, still the wealthiest man in the world, and this is what we got. You can hate him. You could burn a damn Tesla. I don't recommend that. You can throw rocks at a Tesla. I do not recommend that. You can hate this guy for everything. But he kickstarted everything where we're at today. This is the guy that put the kickstart in it. This is the guy that went in and pulled the rope, started the lawnmower, and cut the damn grass. You would not have breaking alerts from Laura Loomer, right, on the guy that was national advisor. What was it? Waltz. You wouldn't have that. Now, that being said, here's Jim Baker. Here is the guy, and I will tie this up. We're going to go all the way through this shit once again. Because I had this conversation with a dearest friend, and I've got to say dearest friend, on the night, Friday night, before the Georgia Republican Party convention, when Steve Bannon, who Elon says is on the list, was coming to speak. I had this conversation, and I tried to tell at that time, hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. These people in these positions, folks, do not just say something because it's a drug-induced stupor and they got nothing to say else to do. So anyhow, this guy here, right? Number 20, remember? This guy, number 20. This is the guy that's Sussman, right? This is the guy, Jim. You heard it, Matt Taibbi. I'm going to put all this together for you. This is Sussman, Perkins Coie, right? Mark Elias's partner. He goes Hillary Clinton campaign. He goes to the FBI. Jake Sullivan goes to Slate magazine to swear that Donald Trump has a server connected to Russia, a direct communication line. And then go back to Jim Baker, 22. And what was the most alarming thing? Right? Matt Taibbi, they go in there and they're like, Matt Taibbi's from Rolling Stone. The FBI, they had back channels. The FBI had back channels Homeland Security in Twitter, it was Jim Baker. They were alarmed that they had hired Jim Baker, goes from the Hillary Clinton, Sussman, back channel, right, server, FBI guy. He goes, and his next assignment, his next damn assignment is to go to Twitter from the FBI and debunk the laptop. You see, the deep state, these corrupt people, they all know that these things are coming down the line. They all know that. And they all know they have to debunk all of this, and they have to be out in front of it and step on it. And you got Donald Trump up there trying to handle the deep state. So this guy here goes over, right? And we are amazed. He sounds like they had their own break room at Twitter. They had so many FBI guys there and gals. They had their own break room. They had their own chat room in the afternoons. They had a book club, the FBI over at Twitter. Holy schmack. The CIA was in there, right? And they set up and they brought people in. They brought media in groups to set up debunking the laptop. Now, let me say this. Remember, that's Elon Musk. Whether you like it or not, Elon Musk did that. Bought Twitter, flipped the switch on. I'm broadcasting this morning. Everything you hear is on X this morning. Laura Loomer's on X this afternoon, right? Candace Owens is over there saying that Macron is with a little boy, and Bridget has a schlong. Sorry, but it's happening now. Let's move forward on that. Number 21. Don't forget, Sussman should be in prison. Jake Sullivan should be in prison. Holy mackerel. Remember this, right? Let's see if I have something else here, right? Do I have anything else I want to throw up? I don't want to throw it up right now. Go ahead. Remember, let's go with 35. 35, Sullivan. This guy here. What's he do? He does his job. He gets a reward, right? He gets a reward. He stays in. He stays in the administration. Did Jake Sullivan commit perjury? Emails reveal lie on Trump. Well, when he was with 32, I'll do this quickly. And we're going to pull this all the way into Epstein, I promise, okay? So here's 32, right? Jake Sullivan, he's with the campaign there. And when the Hillary Clinton campaign goes kaput, remember, he's with Barack Obama. He goes from Barack Obama. He is a director of policy and planning. He's with President Obama. Oh, yeah, they're all corrupt. It's treason. And he leaves there. He goes to the Hillary Clinton campaign. When they don't steal the election for Hillary Clinton, he goes to Joe Biden, and he's the national security advisor for Joe Biden. So, not to go backwards. So we know that happened, right? Now, so let's fast forward. We got Epstein. We got 12. This is how deep state it is. We've got 12. We've got Bill Barr, and we know 13 to go from 12 to 13. Bill Barr's dad hired Jeffrey Epstein without a college degree to teach. Right? Donald Barr hired Epstein to teach, okay? Now, moving right along, Twitter and X. So here's what we're being told. I'm going to take a break, and we're going to bring this up to a point. And they're telling you right now. See, I have it here. I want to get a certain graphic. They're telling you that that Pam Bondi went in June. This is what they're saying. That Pam Bondi went in June and briefed the president that, hey, we're going through this in May. I'm sorry. Give me number 127. So the Wall Street Journal, because the Murdoch family don't care. Now, the Murdoch family, the other day, the Wall Street Journal put out a letter with a picture claiming a graphic picture was sent by Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday party. Trump suing him for $10 billion. They have come back out, right? There's video floating around, CNN, and everything they report says, well, we're not implying Donald Trump is guilty of anything or wrongdoing. But, so they're reporting, the Wall Street Journal, that Trump was briefed in May that his name is among many in the Epstein files. In May, right? In May. Pam Bondi basically said, look, Mr. President, we have flagged your name. Now, the Democrats are claiming that they have a whistleblower in the FBI. I think if I was the FBI, I could be, going through X and arresting Jim Baker, and I could be making arrests. I think I have enough, right, to get the first indictment. You can always get, charges. You ever seen a district attorney? They got one charge is enough to at least get the person arrested. And at that time, you can add charges. You can. So I think we have enough to get charges. Boom. So that being said, supposedly there's a whistleblower saying that Pam Bondi put them all on this mission to go through and flag everywhere Trump showed up. And apparently they're asking Trump, in May, you were briefed by Pam Bondi telling you your name is in the file. Not that we're implying you broke any laws, but your name's on the files. What happens next? In 5 minutes.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. You may ask, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Let me just say this. We're talking about this for a couple reasons. It has not died down, and they're on recess now. we haven't received very good answers whatsoever where Mike Johnson or anyone in the administration is concerned. They're on recess. They're going to set up town halls. The narrative is going to keep going. It's not going to end. They're going to set up town halls all through August. And in August, they're going to, the town halls will not be about treason for President Obama. They will not. It'll be about the Epstein file. Now, we're not okay with any of these low-life lawmakers and pedophiles. I was told the list was being withheld. Well, wait a minute, let me back up. I was told the list is being held up, based on foreign leaders that we may be negotiating with, that we have to be careful how we handle this. Okay. I mean, everything's been floated out there. Now, so I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. You know, I have to tell you, I analyzed this kind of stuff from my dad. Give me 93. I'm serious. And when we were children's, and we had to stand before our Father, it was very upsetting if we did not give a straight answer. Right? So we better give a straight answer. And my dad was able to see immediately when we were not being honest with him concerning a situation. And then, you know, my mother taught us when we were children's, okay, a little bit of home training, that if you tell a lie, you'll have trouble remembering the lie as you go on. It will get worse, and you'll double down, and you'll mess up so bad as you continue to tell lies. You won't remember the original one you told, and you're going to get caught. So that being said, just for the record, for the tape, I still support Donald J. Trump, my president of the United States, this morning. I still do. Now, so he made friends. I would have purchased little X, a bicycle, and I would have told Elon Musk he could go to Mars, run NASA, and have his little pick that he wanted for NASA. I would have. I would have done that. So the reason we're talking about it, one, right there, MAGA, and two, you're going to hear polling data over and over, right? Polling data over and over that Republicans strongly still support the president. I would be one of them. 98. That's what you're going to hear. But there's polling data. Should the Department of Justice release all information about Epstein case or not among Republicans? 83% say should. 17 say should not. So you're going to see the data out there, and the influencers and the water bucket carriers, even Joe Scarborough, they're saying Republicans haven't left Trump. Why, in fact, his polling numbers have increased with Republicans. I haven't left. I'm in the polling numbers that haven't left and still support Donald J. Trump. But I'm in the 83% that say, this is why we're still talking about it. Republicans are going to. They're not okay with this. Now, that being said, let's go into right here. Remember this? So in May, give me number 132. Will Gabbard's claim move any focus from Epstein? Right? And then we have the Wall Street Journal, 129. Justice Department told Trump in May that his name is among many in the Epstein files. When Justice Department officials reviewed what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a truckload of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein earlier this year, they discovered that Donald Trump's name appeared multiple times according to senior administration officials. All right. Number 128. They also told Trump that senior Justice Department officials didn't plan to release any more documents related to the investigation of the convicted sex offender because the materials contain child pornography and victims' personal information. Now, is there a lot of misinformation in there? So before I go any further with this is in May. Keep track. This is in May. Let's listen to a little reporting this morning. Let's see. Video 9.
Between members of the House Republican Conference, or for that matter, between us and the White House. I fully support my committee chairs. Jamie Comer is a trusted friend. He's an excellent chairman of the Oversight Committee, and he has a duty and responsibility to follow the truth where it leads. And so every single one of us are for maximum transparency, and we'll use every power that we have to ensure that that's done. If they see fit to bring in Ghislaine Maxwell for testimony, that's fine. I will note the obvious concern, the caveat that Chairman Comer and I and everyone has, that could she be counted on to tell the truth? Is she a credible witness? I mean, this is a person who's been sentenced to many, many years in prison for terrible, unspeakable conspiratorial acts and acts against innocent young people. I mean, can we trust what she's going to say? Even if she raises her hand and says that she'll testify under oath, is that something that can be trusted? You know, that's a reasonable question. Is that credible evidence? I don't know. But we'll have to see. We have to, uncover everything that we can and let the American people evaluate.
Last week, he was standing there saying, we want to release what's credible. So we went from tell Pam Bondi over there, go through, and if you can find credible stuff, throw it out, throw some red meat out. Mike Johnson said, we're looking for credible. Remember, I told you last week. What did I tell you last week? The key word of the week was credible. Credible, right? Now, then Mike Johnson goes in, the president and all of us, we've asked for everything to be released. We're going to get the transcripts from the grand jury. We're asking. He carried that water. Judge said, no, you're not getting the transcripts. Now, Blanchard, right? Is that his name, Blanchard? He goes, the assistant district attorney, the assistant to the attorney general, Todd Blanchard, is that his name? Blanchard. Anyhow, he goes to meet with Maxwell to discuss her testifying. And obviously something happened there that she may have some bombshell that she's going to put out. And he runs the water. Let's remember, a jailhouse snitch. How credible is she? She's in jail. She's a crook. How credible is she? So don't forget, he's carrying all that. Then you have video, CNN running this, video 13.
General Pam Bondi briefed President Donald Trump in May that his name appears in files related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. That undercuts what we heard directly from the president last week.
The Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI's review, the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you on that.
What?
On the DOJ and FBI review.
On what subject?
On Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi briefed you on that.
Very quick briefing.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the files?
She's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen.
Sources familiar with the briefing say Bondi mentioned that several names of high-profile figures were also in the Epstein files, and investigators did not find evidence of a so-called client list. Calls to release the Epstein files are
all right, so this is May. This is where, because remember, there's a reason why I start with Twitter. There's a reason I start with FBI has their own lunchroom at Twitter. There's a reason I start with all the information you're getting today would not be available, right? If Elon Musk does not buy X, if he doesn't purchase X, he doesn't start inviting Donald Trump, Alex Jones, your host, Roger Stone, I'll name them all day long, Jack Posobiec, Laura Loomer, anybody and everybody, Bill Quinn, we'll throw him out there. If he doesn't invite all of us back, then once he does that, then Google loosens up. You have Mark Zuckerberg. He goes and he starts fessing up how pressure was put on him to suppress free speech. You see this loose because Elon Musk lost money and bought X. Now, this apparently happens in May. We have the setup. Pam Bondi brings the influencers in, gives them a binder. Wow, this is shocking. They go out, look what we got, right? Find out it's nothing. Then in May, apparently, they're briefing Trump and saying, we keep flagging your name. There's a whistleblower claiming they were told to flag Trump's name. Not that it implies he's guilty. We'll leave that there because we don't have any of that, and we don't know that he's guilty of anything, right? We have that. That happens in May. What happens June 5th? Right after May, in that briefing from the Department of Justice, and Elon Musk gets his key, what happens? Number 79. Time to drop a really big bomb at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. He knows. Now, he took it down a couple days later. He knows. That's what he said. This is June 5th. June 5th. Apparently, there was a briefing in May. Apparently, Elon Musk knows what's going on in those files. Seems to be, if there's any truth to this, because May 5th, June 5th, right after May, he drops this out. It's in the file. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Is it? Is he validating CNN's reporting? Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Elon Musk, June 5th. Just saying. All right? Those are the reports. Now, number 80, guess who else he said was in the file? Steve Bannon. Right? Said Steve Bannon was in the file. Steve Bannon hates Elon. Remember, Steve Bannon has been on a mission to destroy Elon Musk. Why? Why are you so angry with Elon Musk? Why is your temper so flared with this guy? Now, Bannon has, I've been told, 15 hours. Well, I've read articles, multiple ones. He has 15 hours of tape where he was going to do a documentary with Epstein I mean, even Bill Gates' wife, is her name Marlene or Melanie Gates or whatever her name is? Even she said she met him once, and it would just reeked of evil, satanic, evil, demonic. It's like I had to get away. But Bannon apparently had spent 15 hours with Epstein, right? 15 hours with Epstein doing a documentary. I think in his home in Paris, whatever, and in New York. And we don't know where that video footage is. But Elon Musk says Steve Bannon is in the Epstein files. Billionaire throws out accusation during public row with U.S. President, former chief of staff. Elon Musk has escalated the feud with Steve Bannon by claiming his name is in the files. Now, not on the list. There's you hear the list, but is in the files. Elon throws that out. Now, Bannon goes to the White House, right? Just a couple weeks. Bannon goes to the White House right after the bombing in Israel or whatever. He goes to the White House. Bannon doesn't go to the White House when Pam Bondi drops the files on the influencers, but Bannon goes then. He goes to the White House. All right? Just saying. Now, number 81, Elon Musk and Steve Bannon war explodes with prison and deportation threats, right? That's the claim. Bannon goes off. He's going to destroy Elon Musk. Why? Why are you going to do that? Steve, why are we going to destroy the man that gave us X back and the platform we have and gave us the freedom? Now, he does control that. I've done many segments to let you know Elon Musk controls a platform that he could flip a switch on us on any day. And he has. Remember when many people lost their ability to monetize their accounts, like Laura Loomer? They got their little check mark taken away. He does have control. But he's the reason all these platforms are running today like they are, is because what he did with X. But Bannon hates him, right? Now, let me just say this. Go ahead and give me video 6.
Does President Trump support federal agencies contracting with Elon Musk's AI company?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so he would want the DOJ to then cancel the contract with Musk.
I'll talk to him about it, yes.
So they're stuck. They don't want to admit it. They're stuck. Elon has Stargate. He has Stargate. He has the rocket launcher thing. He has what is it? The satellite for SpaceX. He's got SpaceX, Stargate. He's got these things that his companies have developed. I have been told, well, he's rich, but he got rich off of our government money. Okay, he has government contracts. He created the rocket. He built the rocket that went and got our astronauts that were stranded, period. We can't risk, and we know it. We put ourselves in a position where honesty is what we have to deal with now, and truthfulness is what we have to deal with. The guy right there, Elon Musk, Bannon, shut the hell up, okay? Just shut up for a minute. Because let me tell you something. We are in a world of hurt, right? We're in a world of hurt if he packs his bags and takes his technology to another country. Takes his technology. Now, do we have a contract that says he can't? I don't know. But it's just like, when we had the bomb and we bring the guy over the scientist. We developed a bomb. He goes to another country. It's not going to happen. So don't forget, as we sit here, if you're wondering if this is going to go away, I'll give you two more pieces, and then we're going to go to Tulsi Gabbard's press conference. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. CNN. I didn't like the opening, but listen to the opening, video 11.
Saw the House go out. The president is trying to move to other news, but that doesn't seem to be holding. Everybody is occupied by this.
But you'd have to have your head in the sand to say that this is going to go away. It's not.
Brigitte Macron is definitely a man. You are officially a very goofy man, Brigitte.
Do the right thing. Tell the truth. Stop spreading these lies.
Now, going into August, is it going away? No, it's not going away. What's one of the reasons it won't go away? Because I guess we just did not handle this properly, Pam Bondi. Give me video 14.
This Epstein saga.
Release the damn files. Look, it makes no sense to me. If anybody thinks that this is going to go away because the House left the day early or something, it's got to be like those zombies in The Walking Dead. Every time you think you've killed it, another one's just going to come running out of the closet after you. This is going to be an issue all the way through next year's election.
This is going to be well, I don't like him. I don't like Tillis. I despise the guy. But this is going to be an issue all the way through next year's election. Did you hear that? Yes. This is the plan. Now, let me say this very kindly for, I got to get to the break, number 93. Let me say this very kindly, MAGA. We apprehended criminals in this country. We should have, and we sent them to an El Salvadoran prison. Okay, and the little border Barbie, what's her name? Homeland Security Barbie. There, she went down and she did a PR in the prison in Savannah. I get it. We did that. We went to LA. We sent how many thousands? We sent 700 Marines. We sent the National Guard into LA. We raided Home Depot parking lots. Please do not send me mail. I'm not advocating for any amnesty. Clear. I'm not advocating, but we raided kitchens. We raided Home Depot parking lots. We raided construction sites. Okay. MAGA, where Epstein's concerned, you would be in really, really great shape if we would have just arrested somebody. You get it? Somebody. If somebody, we have for years and years and years seen the evidence, have the evidence, put the evidence up. If just somebody would have went to prison, we'd be okay right now. There'd be a trust factor that we're headed in the right direction. But it looks like we're trying to change the subject. It looks like it. Take a break.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $5,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait. Get them before they're gone. $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. $5,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for all your kind words. Even over there on chat where somebody's employed someone ugly to say bad words. Give me number 150. Oh, I'm your host, BKP. Did I say that already? I'll do it again. Good morning. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. I know what I forgot. Hey, Diane, how are you? Give me 115. Now, I just want to make my 8-second, 12-second, top 15-second argument. I like Mexican Coke much better than I like Coke. Now, Coca-Cola's cane sugar shift. They're claiming on here that they did a taste test, and actually the sugar shift on Coca-Cola didn't win. I like Mexican Coke. In fact, I love Mexican Coke. I do. I have to stay clear away from Mexican Coke. Why is it called Mexican Coke? Because you can go to your grocery store and pay 3 times more than regular Coke, and it's never on sale, and get 4 glass bottles. It's got to be in glass. Plastic? God, no. It's got to be in glass. With sugar cane, that's a really good Coke. Anyhow, take that down. Now, Tulsi Gabbard came out and did a press conference yesterday. We have this right here. We have the Georgia Hour. In 15 minutes, we will have the Georgia Hour. You don't want to miss that. Tell your family and friends, bring them all. So number 70, she has this graphic. We know before she comes out, there's treason. And I don't know how much we're going to play, but I want a little of this. Now, the question and answer segment, you know, there was the question and answer, and then Caitlin Collins from CNN said, well, it just seems like 3 weeks ago, the president said he didn't trust you. How do we trust you now? You know, they came out with that yesterday, and that it's going to be political. So I'm going to show you all the attacks. But there were some things she said about Hillary Clinton. Let's just go. Where's Tulsi? Give me video 7, Diane. We might do about 5 minutes of this. Video 7.
I'm going to go over the key findings from the House Intelligence Report, which investigated the claims that were made by an intelligence community assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency. In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory. The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department. They also had documents that showed the patronage of the State Department to State Department employees who would go and support Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump. Brennan and the IC misled lawmakers by referencing the debunked Steele dossier to assess quote-unquote Russia's plans and intentions, falsely suggesting that this dossier had intelligence value when he knew that it was discredited. The intelligence community excluded significant intelligence and ignored or selectively quoted reliable intelligence that contradicted the intelligence community assessment's key findings on Putin's alleged support for Trump. Including this intelligence reporting would have exposed the ICA's claim as implausible, if not ridiculous. The intelligence community assessment omitted reliably sourced information, such as how some Russian intelligence officials were quote-unquote planning for candidate Hillary Clinton's victory, while others assessed neither Trump nor Clinton would respect Russia's interests. As was reflected in the ODNI documents that we released on Friday, multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th of 2016, the FBI and ODNI gave the House Intelligence Committee its first post-election classified briefing, in which there was no mention of Putin aspiring to elect Trump by either agency. The Presidential Daily Brief, drafted on December 8th of 2016, stated that no Russian or criminal actors impacted vote counts. This document was pulled just hours before it was to be published due to quote-unquote new guidance. If it had been published, it would have been briefed to both President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump. On December 9th, 2016, a National Security Council meeting was called to gather President Obama's senior national security officials, which included CIA Director Brennan, then Obama DNI James Clapper, Susan Rice, and others. Following that secret meeting, DNI Clapper's assistant sent an email to the intelligence community with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling, tasking ODNI leaders to create a new assessment per the president's request. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report that we released today reveals that, quote, unlike routine intelligence community analysis, the intelligence community assessment was a high-profile product ordered by the president, President Obama. It directed senior intelligence community agency heads and created an intelligence community assessment limited to just 5 analysts, using one principal drafter. This is not something that occurs in the normal path of producing an intelligence community assessment that reflects the views across the intelligence community. The production of this intelligence community assessment was subject to unusual directives directly from the president and senior political appointees, especially the former director of the CIA, John Brennan. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report also shows how later that same day, on December 9th, Brennan ordered the publication of quote-unquote substandard reporting on Russian activities, which had previously been withheld from publication of prior assessments because the information was judged, quote, to have not met long-standing publication standards. Some of the information later used in the Obama-ordered assessment over the objections of veteran CIA officers was, quote-unquote, unclear or from unknown sources. The Intelligence Committee's Oversight Report reveals that CIA Director Brennan overruled senior CIA officers who challenged the Obama-ordered intelligence assessment, stating, quote, we don't have direct information that Putin wanted to get Trump elected. Yet, the Obama-directed assessment was published on January 6, 2017, which explicitly stated, quote, we assess Putin and the Russian government aspired to help President-elect Trump's election chances when possible by discrediting Secretary Clinton and publicly contrasting her unfavorably to him, end of quote. The CIA and FBI, then led by John Brennan and James Comey, expressed high confidence in this judgment, while the NSA expressed moderate confidence. Yet, as the report we released today shows, the ICA, the Intelligence Community Assessment, did not cite any report where Putin indicated helping Trump win was an objective. The opposite is true. With regards to the Steele dossier, we now know that one of the source documents that the Obama administration used in the creation of this intelligence assessment in January of 2017 was none other than the discredited, unverified Steele dossier. The House Intel report states, quote, contradicting public claims by then CIA Director Brennan that the dossier was not in any way incorporated into this intelligence assessment. The dossier was referenced in the intelligence assessment's main body text and further detailed in a 2-page assessment annex. John Brennan lied, and he denied using this dossier in this intelligence assessment that President Obama ordered because he knew it was discredited. It was a politically motivated, manufactured document. He directed senior CIA officials to use it anyway. CIA officer told the House Intelligence Committee staff as they investigated this, quote, the director of the CIA, John Brennan, refused to remove it, and when confronted with the dossier's many flaws, responded, quote, yes, but doesn't it ring true? Even the bipartisan Senate Select Committee on Intelligence report published in 2020 criticized the FBI's handling of the Steele dossier, noting its completely unverified nature and purposeful sidestepping of intelligence community procedures in its use. Now, President Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey, and others, including their mouthpieces in the media, knowingly lied as they repeated the contrived narrative that was created in this January 2017 intelligence community assessment with high confidence as though it were fact. John Brennan, as CIA director, stated in a memo to his agency staff in December of 2016, saying, quote, there is strong consensus among us on the scope, nature, and intent of Russian interference in our presidential election. This was reported by NBC News, confirming that Brennan, along with James Clapper and James Comey, agreed with the CIA's assessment that Russia intervened to help Trump win the presidency. As Obama's Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper was tasked with overseeing the creation of this assessment in January of 2017 by President Obama, and he expressed confidence in its findings. In a 2018 interview with the Harvard Gazette, he talked about how he provided Trump with the same classified assessment that President Obama received, which included the high confidence judgment that Putin directly ordered the hacking and election interference. Clapper then went on to add, I think they, the Russians, actually influenced the outcome. This is a brief summary of the details that you'll find within the House Majority Staff's report in their investigation into the Obama-directed January 2017 Intelligence Community Assessment that leads us to the very same conclusion that we announced in the release of our documents on Friday. The implications of this are far-reaching and have to do with the integrity of our democratic republic. It has to do with an outgoing president taking action to manufacture intelligence to undermine and usurp the will of the American people in that election and launch what would be a years-long coup against the incoming President of the United States, Donald Trump.
So Hillary was getting tranquilized. Diane, I sent you a video. Could you load it? I sent a video. Hillary was getting shots in the horse ass with tranquilizers. She was spastic. She was a basket case. Russia had all kinds of stuff on Hillary that they were going to use when she got elected. Wow, you can't make any of this up. Now, when you become the nominee for your party, right? When you become the nominee for your party, you start getting intelligence briefings, right? So all of these intelligence briefings that they're putting together, Donald Trump, as candidate Trump, is supposed to be getting intelligence briefings. Supposed to be. Give me that video if you've got it loaded.
And what I've suggested, if now, because he's the nominee for the party, and he's entitled to briefings from the CIA, for example, I said publicly, give him fake briefings. Pretend you're briefing him. Don't tell him anything that you don't want to get out.
But as a Republican nominee, isn't he entitled to get those briefings?
Give him fake briefings.
What does that even mean?
It means they'll tell him stuff. He won't know the difference.
You're basically telling the intelligence community to lie to him.
No, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, but I still have to tell you everything. Oh, I said publicly, give him fake briefings.
Treason. Obama will. I would love for him to go to prison. He should go to prison. I'm not for sure on that. I don't see it happening. Give me video 2 really quickly.
When the director says that she's referred these filings to the Justice Department for a criminal investigation, tonight we're told they formed what is called a strike force. Do you
8.5 years of this, and I don't know of an intelligence product that was more scrutinized, more investigated than that product was by numerous people. It's very disconcerting. It really is. And I take seriously when the President of the United States accuses me of being a participant in a treasonous conspiracy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's your reaction to that?
It's ridiculous. It is untrue.
So what will you do if they come after you? What is your plan?
Well, I'll lawyer up, I suppose. Already have.
You've already hired attorneys in anticipation that this Trump Justice Department could try to prosecute you.
We've had sort of perpetual attorneys since I left the government in 2017.
Mm-hmm. Now, MSNBC, they are the defense. They get so angry. CNN, MSNBC, all of them, when you talk about Obama. Video 8. We got to get ready for the Georgia Hour. Video 8.
National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard made an unprecedented claim accusing former President Obama and his administration of creating false intelligence on Russia's efforts to influence the 2016 election. The question is, will this claim move any focus away from the Epstein case? Plus, we'll go
Video 10.
This morning, we're going to look at the Director of National Intelligence, who has released more documents in an effort to prove her claims that President Obama committed treason. We're going to play for you her comments and then fact-check her claims.
Yeah, all the networks are out there fact-checking. They're fact-checking. Video 12. They're all out there fact-checking.
When you look at the intent behind creating a fake manufactured intelligence document that directly contradicts multiple assessments that were created by the intelligence community, the expressed intent and what followed afterward can only be described as a years-long coup and a treasonous conspiracy against the American people, our republic, and an attempt to undermine President Trump's administration.
It's important to highlight the concerns that members of the intelligence space had about Gabbard, even when she was confirmed to this role, that she would politicize intelligence and that it would signal to American allies that maybe their intel couldn't be trusted in her hands. This only underscores that. And other members of the intelligence community have come forward since Gabbard has taken the spotlight on this to say that this is an example of what they were concerned about. Meanwhile, the Pentagon's
They're running defense for Barack Hussein Obama and the deep state and the treason that Tulsi Gabbard has laid out in full detail that we're well aware of. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we return, it'll be time for the Georgia Hour. Come back with us in about 5 minutes for the Georgia Hour. Take a break.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $5,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait. Get them before they're gone. $10,000 off Silverado 1500s. $5,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in LJ. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state of the art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second to none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. It feels like Friday. We're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching the Georgia Hour. It's time for the Georgia Hour here on voiceofruralamerica.com and on voiceofruralamerica.com. Time for the Georgia Hour. Hi, Diane. You know, I had every intent. Like yesterday afternoon, I'm sitting outside, enjoying the ceiling fan and a cheap cigar. And I'm thinking to myself, why do people call me controversial? I mean, like, how did this happen? How did I become controversial? When did highlighting, exposing, looking straight in the eye, looking evil straight in the eye, and saying corruption, I will take you head on, become controversial? What's so controversial about that? So yesterday afternoon, I had made a pretty firm decision that I was going to come here this morning. And not do a First Liberty. We need to get in the Georgia Hour. We need to get into, we have to stop taking the oxygen out of the room, and we need to get into Georgia, the candidates. But as I said yesterday, right? And I'm gonna try to break this down as soon as possible. The AJC, because remember, that's where all good Republicans, well, not good Republicans. That's where Republicans go to die, is the AJC, because the AJC, Republicans feel they are very much in tune. The AJC will carry their water. Yes, that's Republicans think the AJC will carry their water. They'll make deals with Greg Bluestein. See, if Greg comes to my office and I give him information, he won't go after me. That's just the way they do it and the way they play it. So, and I told you the story about a lawmaker. A lawmaker said to me, a Georgia state lawmaker said to me, what percentage of the population in Georgia do you predict actually know who the Frost family is? Who are they? Right? What's the percentage of Georgians that even know who the Frost family, even know the name? And I said yesterday or the other day to this individual, I don't know the actual percent, but I will tell you this, the AJC is doing everything they can to make sure everybody in Georgia know the Frost family. WSB at night, Channel 5, they're all trying to make sure there's a $140 million Ponzi scheme, and the Frost family is the name. Christian, conservative, political, Republicans, Georgia GOP, Georgia Republican Party, all the above. So yesterday we talked about First Liberty building and loan, right? And if you're new to the show, this is the Frost family right here. The cult of Coweta. Give me number 86. This is the family cult of Coweta County, Georgia, as I identify them. Yes. All right. And Brant V, the albino rhino, we're back to that. Brant V in the dark colored jacket. The son. There's always money in the banana stand. That's what Dad's going to say when he visits him in prison. But the plaid jacket is Brant Frost IV, and then Mama is Krista, homemaker, Katie, and the rest of the girls. And they have been raised their whole entire life to participate in the hook of bringing people in. We'll leave it there. But that is the Frost family. Now, give me number 89. So yesterday we talked about this, and I smell a lawsuit coming. This will not stop. For Democrats, this is the gift that keeps on giving. You know, what do they say? Never get in the way when your opponent's imploding. Don't get in the way. So Democrats, Charlie Bailey, the chair of the Democrat Party in Georgia, he made a couple comments, but for the most part, stay out of the way when your opponent is imploding, and that's the Georgia Republican Party right now. And when you could tag something that just doesn't smell good to any candidate right now. I mean, there's not a candidate out there running for anything, and Mike Collins coming up Monday, that this doesn't have a little bit of stench to it attached to them. And they're trying to figure out now, the Republican Party of Georgia and all the Republican candidates, and I am a Republican. I did not create this mess, Sam, I am. They're out there right now trying to say, I mean, how do we get this stench? You know, spray it with some Fabric Fresh, throw it back in the dryer because it keeps coming out stinking of Frost family. Should I say it? No, I'm not going to. Anyhow, so there's a such thing as true. I knew this was coming. There's a such thing as called truth in advertising. And you can go look this up. There's actually laws. And there is, I'm not going to go into great detail. You can go look all this up. In fact, I'll get it for you for maybe tomorrow or Monday, but there's a such thing called truth in advertising. I scrutinize everything. Now, we have here on this show, we have a marketing department that handles the advertising. We always ask for donations, yes, to the program to help bring the message. So we have ways that you can just donate to the program. Little asterisk, you cannot buy a narrative, okay? This is not Wheel of Political Fortune, and you can't buy a narrative. So if you'll donate, help us out in any way whatsoever, we appreciate it. Second, I don't get involved when companies call or people talk to our company about any kind of advertising or endorsements. But I get final cut approval, and I will say this. I want to bring this out for a reason. Anything you see on that screen when we go to commercial, I get final cut, editorial, override, blah, blah, blah approval. I could say it doesn't go on this show, and it doesn't go on this show. They could tell me the person wants to pay X, and I say it doesn't go on the show. And that's happened already, okay? I personally will not come out and endorse a product. I'm not going to bring it up today. I'll bring it up Monday, okay? But you see the Alp on there, all right? And someone said to me, well, you're putting that Alp dip or whatever it is on there because Tucker Carlson. No, I actually have family members that have validated that. I checked that out first. I mean, I didn't want it on the screen, and I didn't want it up there where you can buy it with a QR code. And I actually went to some family members that use the product and say, can you give me something on this? I don't want to just put it on the screen. It's actually a good product. I don't personally use it at this time. I'm going to try it. That being said, there's truth in advertising, not to go too long. John Fredericks, Eric Erickson, Hugh Hewitt, Charlie Kirk. There's several that I've got a feeling your attorney is going to be contacted. And John Fredericks' latest statement that he made reeks of I need to distance and I need to present. I can't answer this because I don't know. Fredericks very close. John Fredericks went over the top endorsing this product. Over the top. But he made a statement because the AJC came out yesterday and went right after the advertisers for the product. John Fredericks said he no longer believes the Frost family should hold any role in the Georgia Republican politics. Now, he didn't say party is the quote. He didn't say Georgia Republican Party. So John Fredericks did not directly ask that the Frost family resign or get kicked out of the Georgia Republican Party, but pretty close. You need to follow his lead. Josh McCoon is what people are putting out. The AJC article, John Fredericks, for his part, said he no longer believes the Frost family should hold any role in Georgia Republican politics, but his biggest priority, he said, is to make sure that those who trusted the family recover their losses. There's an accountability for the host to vet the product you're promoting, and I did that in great detail. I feel totally betrayed. My listeners feel betrayed. My friends have been betrayed. He says they need to find a way to make the investors whole. So what Fredericks is doing, all of these people have lawyered up, and they're all trying to write statements to cover themselves. This is a tangled web. John Fredericks, very close with Josh McCoon. John Fredericks, very close with the Doonaster, Debbie Dooley. John Fredericks, very close with Sally Grubbs, the first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party. Every last one of them are trying to figure out, how the hell do we come out of this? Now, Fredericks has an admission. John Fredericks, the Godzilla of bullshit, all right, the worst thing that's happened to Georgia politics, worst thing that's happened, he is acknowledging that there's a responsibility. He's trying to get out in front of that lawsuit. They sniff a lawsuit coming now. Eric Erickson did not comment. And these are people that said, go to the Frost family. Tell them I sent you. Get there about 4:45 and they'll keep you over for dinner. They really didn't say that, but I'm just adding that in. That's the way they made it sound like, hey, I was over for a barbecue yesterday and they're rolling in the dough and they got fancy cars in the garage. Send them the money. They really didn't say that. It's just the way it came across, okay? Fredericks said, you have to make sure those trusted recover their losses, the biggest trust. There's an accountability to the host to vet the products you're promoting. So he wants you to believe that he really vetted these people. And he is shocked. And he is just caught up. I mean, he did everything. And you know why? There's laws about truth in advertising. The Frost family and this Ponzi scheme, there's people crawling everywhere trying to find an attorney to handle what's coming down the road. If you think these people, the victims, are going to watch knowing that you got their money, there's truth in advertising. So that's one thing that's happening. Hey, look, he's claiming accountability now. Hey, it was my place to vet him, and he might as well be telling the judge on the witness stand, Your Honor, it sounded like a witness testimony. Your Honor, I swear, I'm shocked. I'm caught off guard. They hurt my friends. They hurt my neighbors. I couldn't believe this. I mean, I had to take a day off. I had a migraine. I was so upset, Your Honor. That's what it sounds like to me in that statement. I trust none of these people. I know them for a long time. We're not just reporting a story. Scumbags. Sorry, I held as hard as I could. Oh. All right, now, number 89. Oh, it's up there. Who received the donations? So here's another one, the AJC this morning. Every day somebody does something, okay? And they've got I said yesterday, I was coming here, we're going to talk about Kelvin King running for Secretary of State. We're going to talk about the offices. We're going to talk about Gaines over there in the 10th district. Is it House? Does he say Houston or Houston Gaines? Who is it? Houston Gaines or Houston Gaines? How does he pronounce his name? Going to be running for Congress in the 10th district. But bada bing, bada boom, who received the donations? The Frost family and company, right? Now, the Atlanta Journal identified 1.4 million. To identify these contributors, reporters searched records, Ethics Commission, FEC Commission. Let me just make a side note, and you're going to say, this is potato, how does one tie to the other? Now, how does one tie to the other? I just want to make a comment. This is going to get my ass in fire right here. But Karen Henshaw has been running the books over at the Georgia GOP for 16 years. John Padgett, all right, the former chairman of the Georgia GOP, Inc., there seemed to have been a racial issue with a former employee with the Georgia GOP, Inc. That's not what the show is about. We're not going to take the time. Claiming Karen Henshaw may have said some things she shouldn't have in a racial charged way, maybe. All right, it's all out there. It's in articles. If you want to pull the articles up, I'm not attacking anybody. So she gets to keep her job after these racial allegations are made. She gets to keep her job. She's there 16 years. She's got all the books. Millions of dollars are flowing through. Millions of dollars are flowing through this Georgia GOP, Inc., right? Now, I understand every time you turn around, when she files the contributions, when she files all the paperwork with the FEC filing, there's like 14 of them this year alone, if it's not this year. When I say I mean, I could be off a number, so let's not get there. But every time she files one, every other one basically almost, she has to refile. She has to correct them and refile. She's correcting them all the time. We have triplicate entries we've never got an answer for. We've got like 1 month where 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. We got triplicate entries that we never got a clear answer on. We have all the personal expenses that Josh McCoon, the chairman, that he said he reimbursed. But yet the Georgia GOP was able to go in and go through all their books and accurately, for once, come up with a number to reimburse voluntarily, as they say, the receiver for the money that they received from Frost family or the corporation. It doesn't add up, and I don't believe it. I absolutely do not believe it. The Frost are so interwoven inside of Josh McCoon. You got to remember, you say Georgia Republican Party, and you think state committee, and you think executive committee, and I don't dislike those people. They dislike me. And if they don't like me, I don't give a damn if they like me. I didn't get up this morning wondering, do they like me today? Well, hell, I don't give a shit, all right? But let me tell you something. I don't give a shit if you don't like me. But Josh McCoon don't give a shit if you care either, because you're not going to make any decisions. He'll make them all by himself. And excuse me for the extra shit or two. I'm just telling you. I don't trust that. I trust nothing about that. Just saying. And then John Pageant in the Republican Party, they sealed the lawsuit. They go into court. They have it sealed. All right, back to this. I got sidetracked. I may have said things I shouldn't have. Well, I mean, I'm talking bad words. I don't dislike, let me get this back. I don't dislike every member of the Georgia Republican Party State Committee. I don't. I have no hard feelings. I don't dislike them. But you are led to believe that you are the governing party of the Georgia Republican Party. I'm sorry, I had to crack up. That cracks me up every time I say that. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Yeah, you are led to believe that you're the governing body of the Georgia Republican Party. Oh my God. I bet you got it on your business card. I'm Georgia Republican Party. I'm the state committee. I'm in charge. I'm sorry. Oh, I gotta get myself together on that one. Executive. I'm an executive. I'm executive material. Yes. I'm an executive. In fact, I'm so executive, I'm on the executive board of the Georgia Republican Party. Yeah? Got it right here on my business card. Why, they tell me I have decision-making powers. Yes. You do. I'm sorry. This show has gotten, whew. All right, so let's get back to some reality here. I can't help myself every time I think about that. The Georgia Republican Party has a rules committee. Why do you make rules? What are you making rules for? To tell Josh that he can't just write a $37,000 check without asking, right? To tell Josh that Josh McCoon, chairman, they're all wondering how much did they know about the Frost family. All right, so let's see. All right, so they go through here, and I want to bring this up. Number 90. Donations were made in the name of Frost the Fourth, First Building and Loans, and other associated companies, family members, and the Georgia Republican Assembly PAC. Now, the reason I'm going through this, I want to clear something up, okay? Because there's some problems out here. There's some people you really like, love, and adore that you just have to have a heart-to-heart conversation with, and you got to ask them some hard questions, okay? The list includes contributions made from known addresses for the Frost home and business. They were mailing from the home. Well, Mom, she's a homemaker. It's on the list. Krista Frost was going out to the end of the driveway and putting checks in the mail. That's what homemakers do. Anyhow, the list was updated by Secretary of State, encouraged candidates, return the donations by the Frost. All right, who received contributions from the Frost family? Now, who received contributions from the Frost family and their companies? The Frost family associated companies made. All right, now I want you to look at the top because I want to clear something up. Because Debbie Dushits, this has to stop. It has to stop immediately. Debbie Dunaster is full of douchets, okay? She just is, all right? Please. Now, she's attacking the GRA, all right? There's a lot of stuff swirling around the GRA. There's a lot, all right? We know the whole list that magically left just before the collapse. We know that. The whole list magically left. And then there's the attacks that Debbie Dooley is leveraging on the GRA. And I think she even said, when are you going to give back the GRA, when you're going to give back the $162,000. Let me be clear. I want to look in the camera and say something because I have GRA members that watch every single day. You do every day. I have an enormous amount of friends that have a GRA badge that are GRA members that are amazing patriots. Now, like any organization out there, you might have a rotten apple or two here and there. So there's a lot spinning around the Georgia GRA at this time. There's a lot spinning around Nathaniel Darnell. There's a lot spinning around, Alex Johnson. What did you know? When did you know it? All the above. There's a lot spinning around the organization because the Frost family had such a chokehold, and this is the Georgia Republican Assembly, if you're listening across the country, they had such a chokehold on the GRA, intertwined, and such a control. So it's a real breath of fresh air for them to be gone from the organization. Now, I will ask the question, why did the GRA, not attacking, because I always get told, are you attacking? No. Why did the GRA allow? You see, you think if the receiver, Josh McCoon's trying to throw the receiver off the scent. So think of it like this. The receiver is a bloodhound. He's going around sniffing everything, right? Sniffing a little too close to the Georgia Republican Party. So, paraphrasing, if that's the proper way to put it, Josh says, hey, meet him out at the driveway. Don't let him get up to the house. Don't let him get in the office. We don't need him in here. God knows we don't need anybody looking at our books, right? Meet him at the go out there. Tell him you'll meet him at the end of the road with a check for $37,000. Just get off the trail. So he hopes that the bloodhound will not cross the river, and he threw him off the scent. That's exactly what's happened there. Okay, that's what they did. They didn't get angel rings. They didn't do all the right things. They're not the most up and up people, and they're amazing. And oh my God, the leadership bull didn't happen. There is so much weaved into the fabric of this. So much weaved into the fabric that they're trying to unravel it now. Okay, I'll give you this. They found a pull on the sweater, and they're trying to unravel it without the whole sleeve falling off the shirt. Because, see, they know if somebody gets a hold of the end of that pull, it just really pulls it, the whole thing unravels. And if you're playing a drinking game, the next time I say unravel, you'll probably be drunk. But, so the Georgia GOP, here's what's going on. I'm going to explain this. They're so intertwined. Now, why the GRA allowed Brant Frost V, right? Allowed Brant Frost V to totally control the GRA PAC. So what they did is started a GRA PAC. Why the GRA allowed them to name it, but I want to look you in the eye and tell you, to the best of my knowledge, from Alex Johnson, to the best of my knowledge, Nathaniel Darnell, sorry about that, and the statement they put out, they had nothing to do with the GRA PAC. It's separate, but still says GRA. So the Frost family pumped $162,185 in the GRA PAC. Their largest donation was $50,000 on May 9th, 2024. 48 transactions. So they were pumping money basically to their son, Brant Frost V, to control and put out for lawmakers. I'm just saying. Now, the Maine Republican Party got $60,000. Georgia Republican Party, they're saying June 9th, 2025. Okay, June 9th, 2025. Right after the convention, they got $5,000. That's what they're saying. June 7th was the Republican Party state convention on June 7th, where the Frost all participated. We won't go down that road. On June 9th, they wrote, they're broke. They're broke. It's unraveled. The Ponzi scheme is up. The gig is up. It's done. It's over. It's exploded. But they still go home after the convention that they rigged, participated in, and wrote the Georgia Republican Party $5,000. That's what it says. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Did you hear me say it? You see it on the screen. And then they wrote Candace Taylor on June 10th. On June 9th, 5,000 to the GOP. On June 10th, they wrote 3,500 over to the Candace Taylor, the 1st District. Not having the money. You got to understand, this is just weeks away from the sign on the door saying, we're in deep crap. We're through. And $8,500. Georgia Republican Party. Then you have dinner table, Alan Long, Patrick Morrissey out of West Virginia. Patrick Morrissey out of West Virginia, the governor, Bruce Thompson, God rest his soul, God rest his soul. Bruce Thompson, Colton Moore got $27,900, right? And then Chris Kobach out of Kansas got 27. These are just a couple. Now, number 91, the Frost family and associated companies donated more than 40% of the funds raised by the GRA PAC. It's during its existence. The table below shows how the PAC distributed some of the funds to the campaigns and committees. So this is the GRA PAC. This is the GRA PAC, okay? The GRA PAC is controlled. Hey, look, I will give you an action item. At the end of this show, we always give you action items, and I'm going to give you a new action item today, okay? Because the Georgia GOP wrote a legalese type document. They say immediate family. They only list the legal name in it right now of First Liberty Building and Loan and Brant Frost IV. After that, they only say immediate family, right? And they give you this explanation, and that they come to terms 37,000. I don't trust that. This is where, and then you got John Fredericks coming out. They're all running scared. They're all running scared. See, Eric Erickson, let me show you the weave. I'm like Donald Trump. I'm the weave. The weave. Right? Eric Erickson gave no statement. And I'll say why. He said some things very positive about the fraud. But you know what Eric Erickson is not? He's not so interwoven in the Georgia Republican Party that he can't get out of it or walk away from it. Tied to John Fredericks, right? John Fredericks is so tied to Josh McCoon, so tied to Brant Frost IV. John Fredericks is cash order checks. John Fredericks is really tight with Sally Grubbs, who's really tight with the Frost family, okay? Very, very tight. And there's such a weave between Fredericks, the Georgia Republican Party, Josh McCoon, Sally Grubbs, the Brant Frost family, all of them. That, hey, Fredericks, that's a statement that I could hear. I could possibly hear someone giving the judge, I didn't know. I'll tell you, I feel responsible, Judge. I did. I told my friends to go down there and shop at that store. I had no idea, Your Honor. I can't. These people are unreal with their absolute bullshit. This is good. We are far from over of what is weaved in here that I think, my opinion, could be criminal. Could be. Allegedly. Because I know, my God, I used to say attorneys were standing by. Now we got 12, 15. We got a whole team. They've put a staff out there watching every move. I have to calm down. The Frost family associated with the company. Now, they gave 40%. You got to understand the Georgia PAC. Now, what you're about to see, 40% of it basically comes from the Frost family. Now, so give me number 92. Who received contributions from the Georgia Republican Assembly? Controlled by, it's not the Georgia Republican Assembly, it's the PAC. It's not the GRA, it's the GRA PAC. Very big separation. If I'd say anything that you consider negative about the GRA today is you have an opportunity, this is positive, you have an opportunity right now, right this minute, to take the organization, get rid of you got to get rid of Sally Grubbs. GRA, you got to get rid of Sally Grubbs. You have to. Now, the only reason Sally Grubbs remained a member of the GRA is so she could sit in every meeting. I've had GRA members call me and say, how can we go to a GRA meeting with Sally Grubbs in the room and speak freely, knowing that she's just staying in so she can report everything back to Josh? I'm serious. So GRA, Sally Grubbs has to go. Your credibility, and I'm fighting right now. I'm doing everything I can to say, GRA, you can take this situation and turn your organization into what you always intended for it to be. This is your chance. And GRA, you're not the GRA PAC. Your statement was great putting it out. You're not the GRA PAC. But the GRA PAC, let me be clear, was controlled by Brant Frost V. That would be the albino rhino. That would be the guy. There's stories out there where Brant Frost V closed the entire deal. Now, there's stories, all right? There's people. Let's go to the investors for First Liberty Building and Loan Ponzi scheme. There's investors out there. They're talking all kinds of media. They're sending people all kinds of messages. Some of that is getting to this desk right here. And there's people that have said, look, I completely dealt with Brant Frost V. He wrote the deal, made the deal, signed the deal. I don't know what signed. I better back up. I don't know what signed. I just threw that in there. But everything was done through Brant Frost V. So he's in on it. Katie Frost was an employee. Mom was a homemaker. That's what's on the thing. Krista. So anyhow, Brant Frost V, while across town talking people out of their money, he controlled the PAC. So the Georgia Freedom Fund. Now, the Georgia Freedom Fund last received money February 4th, 2024. That's the last time they received money. They got one transaction for $21,000. But the Georgia Freedom Fund, what you got to look at there is 40% of that is Brant Frost, Patrick Witt, right? That's in 2022. Charlize Byrd got $7,550 from the PAC. Charlize Byrd, 40% of that. All right. June 16, 2025. Noel, she got $4,800. Jeffrey Jones, $4,600. Philip Singleton for State House. Now, this goes back to 2019. Colton Moore got, the last one was $3,000 or the largest. He got $4,200, 40%. Sherry Gilligan, 40%. And Bob Smith for Senate, Villarica, 40%. So those are just a handful that are listed there. All right? They came out of that money. The point I'm making today is, and let me go to my action item because we only got 15 minutes. We only got 15 minutes. Now, as you well know, I had the receiver here. There he is, 47. Diane, can you do me a favor? If I send you a website, can you pop it up? Thank you. I didn't hear a yes, but I know her. I mean, Diane can do it. She can do it. I mean, she could do it, or she just says no. No, I can't do it. I'm sending you this right here. Could you tell me when you can put this website on the screen and we could scroll down. We got to show people. I'm going to show you how to stay involved. All right? Because what we have to do, we have to win in 2026. We have to win. Republicans need to win. Republicans right now are looking at every way out of this. All right? This is not a Republican attacking another Republican. Stop it, damn it. This is not a Republican. This is not Ronald Reagan. Oh, my God. Well, you know, Reagan's 11th commandment. I know Reagan better than you know Reagan. I got Reagan all over the damn wall. You got it? This is not Reagan's 11th commandment that thou shalt not attack a fellow Republican. Remember the year. Go back. Go back for you limp-wristed weasel, whatever. I'm going to say bad words. My God. Go back and look at when Ronald Reagan made that statement. Let me tell you something. You want me to believe that Ronald Reagan would look at all of this corruption, every last bit of this corruption, and say, they're Republicans? Would he recognize them? Would you get recognized on this whole list of corrupt bull crap going on? Would you get recognized as a Republican by Ronald Reagan? So quit going on your social media and crying. Oh, we're eating our own. Oh, that's what we do. We don't attack Democrats. We attack Republicans. I'm not attacking a single damn Republican. I'm highlighting what I feel very strongly and will end up probably in court and some people tossed in a jail cell, some plural. Corruption. I've been yelling at it for years. Just saying. Just saying. Here's the receiver. Here's our action item. I get tired of that. I just do. I get worked up. I get so darn tired. Oh, Josh. Wow, it's just amazing. You did the right thing. Bravo. He's such a fine young man. He did the right thing. What a leader. He's going to lead us to win in 2026. Look, they're so intertwined, they don't know what to do. And I'm not the one. Well, he's on there yelling about it again. Did I write that AJC article this morning? Did I? Did I write it? Did I write the one in Noonan? Did I steal $140 million? Did I? No, I didn't. Did I cheat somebody out of it? Did I go online with my show and say, oh, they're amazing people, send your money to... Did I? Was I the one? Hell no, I wasn't the one. I'm just sitting here minding my own business. AJC writing it every day. Every friggin' day. Somebody out there at Nightly News doing it every single night. Oh, there'll be a day or two here shortly where it will be quiet for a day or two until the next thing comes up. Receiver. Okay? Now, Gregory Hayes is the receiver, and as you know, that's the email, and that's the phone number. So here, let me say this, okay? Write that down, take a screenshot. That's the information. I always tell you to be nice, be nice. Be nice. Be professional, but write him and say, look, the fabric, something of this nature, the fabric of the GRA PAC, the closeness of the chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, the fact that FEC filings are so horrendous at the Georgia Republican Party, there's a lot more that has to be looked into here. Now, articulated in a way that, send it to me. I don't take this wrong. I'm not being there. Send it to me. I'll help you out with it. Because the facts are, I appreciate the Georgia Republican Party very much. But the guy in charge with Alex Kaufman didn't do anything heroic. They're just trying to keep the wolves away from the door, is what they're trying to do. So there's a lot more here. Can you do me a favor, Diane? Do you have that website? Is that something we could do? Now, here's how you keep up with this, right? This is the website. Receivership for First Liberty, right there. This is the website. Can you go to the top left? Does it show the name? I forget. Up there. No. Is that your top right there? When you click on that, where does that go? Right? What's the name? There it is right there. There. See the web? Oh, you got the web address right there. Go back. There it is. I'm sorry. The QR code. Thank you, Diane. That QR code, that goes to the website, correct, Diane? That goes to the website on the bottom there, the QR code. There it is. Website URL. Thank you. Now, here is the website they created. Go down. Hit that QR code. Not mine next to Voice of Rural America. The QR code, website URL. Look at that right now. Because I've had a lot of people ask me, how do I keep up with this? So you go down. All right. And everything, right? First Liberty, click receiver, court information, the dates, everything was done. If you're wondering, then you go down to key documents. They're actually posting the news articles. They're posting some news articles. Now, if you want to read the entire report, right? Right there it is. Click on that and then go back. See, you click there. That's the entire report. Every page on the report that we showed you the other day. That's how you find it. That's where you read it right there. They're posting everything. You can follow. Go back, Diane, to the website. So receiver status report. Every time the receiver does something, they'll put it there. Key documents on the left. All right. In the news, go up towards the top. Hold on. Down a little. Slow down there. McFly. Down a little more. Right there. That's everything there. The court. That's the email. You go to that website. You can click the address. Email address. Receiver. There you go. I was supposed to go bada bing, bada boom. I thought it would go straight there. Maybe he doesn't have it linked yet. Is it linked there yet? Not yet. There it is. Right? That's who they are. Now go back to the homepage. That's how you find everything, and you can communicate with the receiver. Now, here's what we have to do. They're going to tell you I'm adding fuel to the fire. No, I'm not. We need to clean up. Actually, Josh McCoon should resign today. Zali Krubbs should resign today. If we're trying to get all this out of our way, trying to get everything out of our way, because we need to go into Monday, because Mike Collins is going to announce he's running for Senate Sunday or Monday. I think it would be probably Monday, but there's going to be a big announcement there. Once he does, everything's going to start filtering down. We need this out of the way. So we got to get the news out of the way. We got to get all the Frost have to resign. Katie, Krista, this is for you. I know you watch. Katie, Krista, and Brant Frost V. Do the right thing for the party. do the right thing for your country, do the right thing for your state, do the right thing for conservative politics, do the right thing for the Republican Party of Georgia, do the right thing for all of the principles that you say you stand for to safeguard this country so we don't lose elections, and resign. Got it? Krista Frost, this is not being ugly. Krista Frost, Katie Frost, Brett Frost V. I'm asking you to resign everything and every position that you have with the county, state committee, and the state office, the Georgia Republican Party. Resign everything now. Do it for the good of your country. Do it for the good of the state. Do it for all that you say you hold dear, holy, true, and what you say are your values, your conservative values. Do it now, immediately. Get out of the Republican Party news. Get out of the Republican candidate's way. Do not show up at anything. Go home. Stay out of the way so we can win in 2026. Do not come between us, Republicans, and winning and kicking Ossoff out, winning the governor's mansion and all the constitutional offices. So I'm asking you, respectfully, I'm asking you nicely and seriously, resign everything and help us out here for 2026. Josh and Sally, don't be self-serving right now. It's not about you. Resign today, get out of the way so we can win in 2026. Do the right thing. Because between all of these things going on, the AJC, where money is going, the questions, what's coming down the pike with the FEC, what's coming down the pike with the SEC, what's coming down the pike possibly with the FBI, what's coming down the pike with the Secretary of State, what's coming down on your head, Maxwell hammers, silver hammers coming down on your damn head with everything. Who in the world is going to contribute? Who in the world is going to volunteer? Who's going to do the work out there? So for the good of the party, for the good of the country, for the love of the nation, and for Donald Trump, every one of you, do it for Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. Resign. Get out of the way. We're not the bad guys. We are not okay with corruption. Period. We are. I'm going to say we. I'm not alone here. We're not okay with corruption. We're not going to accept the corruption. Now, I'm going to tell you something for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Well, that wasn't the breaking news. That's Brant Frost. That's Albino Rhino. And Sally. Well, what a nice little grin you got going there, Sally. No, well, that's because she's sitting next to her Brantley. That's Brantley to her. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Take that down. I can't stand the side of that. Get it off the screen. So don't forget here, number 5. That's Michael Whatley. Tell Michael Whatley, the RNC chair, that we've got a real problem here. Got a real problem. Yeah. Yes, we do, guy. Got a real problem. Let's see. I don't want to do that one. Now, give me number 41. There's going to be, give me number 43. This is in 2023. The reason I put this one up, here's the reason I put this one up right here. The guy in the red tie, all right, all smooched up on Marcy, the narcissist. Narcissist, you got out just in time, didn't you, narcissist? That's the narcissist in red. He's all smooched up on her. Well, he's only hugging her, all right? They're going to be mad. There's Princess. That's Caroline Jeffords. Boy, things have gotten quiet in her world, right? And there's Sally on the end. And there's little Vicky. There's little Vicky. Vicky Consiglio. Yes. There's what's his name? I don't know. But Josh McCoon, and there's Brantley. This is from 2023, right? This is the state officer. John Fredericks endorsed all these people in 2023. He endorsed them. In fact, he feels let down, but we have his over-the-top endorsement for Brandt in 20. John didn't just get there. When John Fredericks writes a statement, he was let down. He didn't just get the town. I mean, he just didn't come in and order a sarsaparilla and sit down. He didn't. I mean, he's been hanging around these folks for a while. I mean, he's been eating dinner with them. He's been hanging out with them. Whatever. You know it and I know it. So this is from 2023. John didn't just get to town. He's got that little crying, it's my responsibility to check these people out. Well, you've been hanging out with them for a while there, John. So take that down. Anyhow, so now tomorrow, pending nothing breaks. At 10 o'clock tomorrow on the Georgia Hour, give me number 41. We're going to talk about Georgia politics without a Frost and without a McCoon for one day. We are. So stay tuned tomorrow because this is Secretary of State race. This is Tim Fleming, the chosen one for Secretary of State. Not my choice, the chosen one. That's how it works. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we're going to go through how it works. Now, if something breaks, there's more stories, there's more information where the Frost are concerned, or the family cult from Coweta. Yes. The family cult from Coweta. Just saying. Anyhow, if nothing happens there, we're going to spend an hour. You don't want to miss it because I'm already seeing everything unfold, right? I may get the magic 8-ball out for tomorrow, but I'm seeing everything unfold. And let me say this. As it unfolds, and tomorrow, my prayer, and it really is, no Epstein and no Frost. That's my prayer. Anyhow, I have people that get really upset with me when I call someone or anyone a plant. Oh, they can't stand that when I call them a plant. I study politics. It's not personal. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not attacking anybody. A plant. And then when I say somebody has been set up in the race to make a move, and then when I say watch who's in the room, a lot of people get upset with that. But Labor Day will be that's usually the big kickoff. Labor Day will be the big kickoff. There'll be a September kickoff. There's going to be a late August kickoff for Burt Jones. I think he's announced that. So we're going to get into governor. But Secretary of State of Georgia, I'm predicting Secretary of State of Georgia can be with the base of the Georgia Republicans. Secretary of State of Georgia could be the top with Senate governor, but could be right there neck and neck with a race where people really scrutinize the candidates. You see, we got Brian Kemp, Secretary of State, right? Then we got Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State. We're really watching that Secretary of State office this time. And is John King going to stay in the Senate race? I'll see you tomorrow morning. You know how to get put our contact up. Folks, never hesitate. Let me tell you how this works. And I don't care who you are, you're invited. All right. I know there's a certain amount of assholes out there that they send nasty stuff. They write nasty stuff. And, we survive it here. But if you want me to call you, now I don't answer this phone number, and I'll tell you why, because I don't answer it because, one, I answer it and people just yell nasty stuff on the phone, okay? Or I answer it and it's someone trying to sell me something, spammers or whatever. But 706-889-9700. If you will text that number, give me any information, send me pictures, send me graphics, whatever you want. If you'll text that number and tell me why, who you are. If you can't identify yourself, I'm not talking to you. Who you are, or if you have something you need to stay anonymous, I get that. But give me some information in a text message, and I'll be glad to call you back. Email me right there. Email Diane. And, it's 11:06. It's going to be hot. Hydrate. Be careful. Stay away from a frost. Stay away from a macoon. Until tomorrow, stay safe. How did I become so controversial? I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m.